Mbappe. Thuram. Mbappe. Oh wow!
The World Cup is here again. Across Nigeria, conversations have begun, viewing centers are preparing, and fans are making predictions. But one thing is missing.
My name is Taiwo.
Okay, Mr. Taiwo, the World Cup commences next week, and we'll not be having the Super Eagles of Nigeria there. How do you feel about that?
Very, very bad. Very, very bad.
Okay. Who will you be supporting?
I'll
Since we'll not be having Nigeria there.
supporting Netherlands.
Netherlands. Why Netherlands?
Because the way they play,
Okay.
the style of play, because the way they possess the ball.
Okay.
So that is why after Super Eagles, the best team is Netherlands.
For you?
For me, that's for me.
Okay, so what do you miss the most about Nigeria not being at the World Cup? Because the last edition they were not there, and this edition they are not there too. So how do you feel about Nigeria not being there, and what do you miss the most?
What I miss most is because of the love.
Okay.
The love that, because anytime Nigeria is playing,
Okay.
you can see the love, the collation on in Nigerians.
Okay.
So that is what united us to be one Nigeria.
Okay.
So because of that, so it's somehow to me.
Okay.
So that is it.
So in the next World Cup edition, what do you think they should do better so as to enable them participate in the World Cup that will come up in 2030?
They have to do what is needful because of the way the coaching crew. Okay. Because that is where we lost the World Cup. Okay. Because of the changing of the coaches. We believe in this Malian coach, Eric Chow, the way he's doing. So if they can continue with him, I believe the next World Cup will be our starting point.
Thank you very much.
I'm Rabi. Okay.
The World Cup commences next week, and we'll not be having the Super Eagles there. How do you feel about that?
As Nigeria, it really has broken.
Okay. And since Nigeria will not be there, who are you supporting?
I'm going for France.
France. Why France?
Because I actually like their style of play. It's physical and kind of play that the African football is.
Okay. First question I have for you is that going forward, what do you think the Nigeria team should do better so as to enable them participate in the next World Cup?
In the game of soccer, if they could be fair with their selection.
Okay.
If they could not be, they should not be like, there should not be any partiality. They should go with the right one.
The right players.
Yeah.
Okay.
My name is Samuel. I work with National Sports.
Okay. Sir, next week the World Cup commences, but we'll not be having the Super Eagles of Nigeria there. So how are you feeling about that?
Honestly, when I heard about it, I initially didn't know, but I found out like weeks back, and I was feeling really bad. I was like, why whole Nigeria? Like, we're not participating in the World Cup. Okay? Like African giants, come on. If all African countries are participating, why can't Nigeria participate? Of all countries not participate in Nigeria? But it's what it is, right? Okay. We didn't qualify. That's why we're not participating. So I mean, well, we should try and do better next time. But this is like a wake-up call. If Nigeria of all countries in the whole of Africa is not participating because they did not qualify, they need a lot. It says a lot. I mean, we should try and work on ourselves.
So since Nigeria will not be at that World Cup, who will you be supporting?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
But we have to watch it to see who, because I would have supported South Africa, but with what is going on with the xenophobia attack, I cannot support South Africa. Okay. I cannot support Egypt. Okay. I will not support Congo or Ghana. Ghana that is banning other terrorists. I will not support Ghana. I will not support a country. You have to be a country that we have benefited from one way or the other. Okay.
So which what do you miss the most about Nigeria not being at the World Cup? Because remember, they were not in the last edition and they will not be in this one too. So what do you miss about Nigeria not being at the World Cup?
The chanting. They've stolen it from us. We're supposed to be champions of those songs that happen in the World Cup. Africa World Cup. It's not be like that again. It's not be like the World Cup that we know, because Nigeria is not there. Most people will not watch it, honestly. Most people will not watch it.
So what do you think the Super Eagles of Nigeria should do better so as to enable them be at the World Cup?
We should train.
Like coming up in 2030.
We should train more. There are people in the street, that play better. Come outside and scout for players and sign up players. Let's not be expecting that people that have been playing how many years ago will still do better now. Okay. Train more, pick new players. There are good players outside. Go and bring new players. It won't take you anything. Bring new players and train with them. We'll do better. Technically. My name is Fatari Tokubo.
Okay. So next week the World Cup commences, and we'll not be having Nigeria in that World Cup.
That is so careful.
How do you feel personally as a fan?
I feel so bad because if Nigeria qualifies to the World Cup, me too, I'll be in the US.
Okay.
That is my plan.
Okay.
But they're not qualified. It was so
Okay.
painful.
Okay. Beautiful. So now that we are not having Nigeria in that World Cup, who are you supporting?
I'm supporting Spain
Why Spain?
because of Gavi and Pedri.
Because of Gary and Pedro. Are you a Barca fan?
Yes.
My name is Usman Abalaji.
Okay, Mr. Usman, next week the World Cup commences and we'll not be having the Super Eagles of Nigeria there. How do you feel about that?
It's very disappointing.
To you,
Yeah.
okay,
For
and
the whole Super Eagles wants to qualify for
the World Cup.
the World Cup. Yeah.
Okay, so since you will not be having Nigeria there, which country are you supporting?
I will go for Egypt because of Mount Salah.
Okay, are you a Liverpool fan?
Yeah.
Okay, why exactly do you want Egypt to win the World Cup?
Because now in Africa, I can see the North Africa doing well, like Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria.
Okay.
They are really good sides. So I think for Africa to win the World Cup, the North Africa needs to play better.
Okay.
So I will go for Egypt.
What do you miss the most about Nigeria being at the World Cup? Because remember they were not in the last edition, the one that took place in Qatar.
Yeah.
And they are not in this one too. So how the most about it?
I mean, the fans.
The fans. Beautiful.
Fans.
Okay. What do you think they should do better so as to enable them qualify for the World Cup that is coming in 2030?
No, I think the NFA need to put more effort into Nigeria football because they have the most talent. Yes.
What's your name?
I'm Mazu Tribus on Kuche.
Okay, sir. I want to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
My first question is what do you do for a living?
Well, I do business.
Okay.
I'm the founder of Fortune 7 Global Enterprise.
Okay.
It's an energy company, but we do other things. So I also do sports business. I do non-sports business. So that is what I do for a living.
Okay. How do you feel with Nigeria not going to the World Cup?
Well, I feel disappointed because Nigeria not being able to participate in the next World Cup. It means that Nigerian influence in the world football arena will not be that strong, and players who are foreign and national or local based footballers will be able to do what they need to do, so that after the World Cup, if they do well, clubs like Juventus, clubs like Chelsea, Liverpool were able to buy them, then they earn more money and earn more respect for the country. Because
do you feel like during the World Cup you experience more sales in terms of jersey and otherwise?
yes, there will be more sales if Nigeria is involved in the next World Cup, because one, our local product will be, the demand will be high, and the Nigerians will, and foreigners will love to wear Nigerian jersey and be proud of it.
Yusuf, please what do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a mariner and I'm also a businessman.
Okay. And you sell jerseys too, right?
Yes, we sell sports wears and everything concerning sports.
Okay, sir. So, how do you feel with Nigeria not being in the World Cup this year?
Personally, I'm very sad because it should have made our youth to be more exposed, especially the upcoming footballer that should have gone to display their talent, and from there they would have excelled. And even the sports wears like Nigerian jersey would have sold a lot of jerseys, but for me it affects our business because for now people are not patronizing us because Nigeria are not going to the World Cup and we are not selling Nigeria jersey for now.
Okay.
So for me, I'm sad about it. So it would have been better if we had gone to the World Cup.
Okay, sir.
It would have affected us positive, especially the youth. So we are on the disadvantage side currently.
Okay,
So hopefully next World Cup will be there.
Okay, sir. Sir, do you feel like during the World Cup you experience more sale in terms of jersey?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially if you watch what happened when Arsenal won the Premier League, we sold a lot of Arsenal jerseys. Even during that particular day they played the championship final of the UEFA Championship, we sold a lot of Arsenal jerseys because Arsenal was in the final. If Nigeria had been in the World Cup, we would have sold a lot of Nigerian jerseys.
Is Giwanyam. I'm from Kaduna State.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, but I reside in Plateau State.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So, sir, next week the World Cup commences, and we'll not be having the Super Eagles of Nigeria there. How do you feel about that?
Well, generally, as a patriotic Nigerian, as a confirmed football fan, and as a football coach, it's very disheartening. It's very disappointing not to have Nigeria participate in the World Cup, especially when you look at the chances was very, very slim for Nigeria to have been able to make it. So it's actually quite disappointing. So, but we have nothing to do. We just have to be patient and then feed our eyes when the World Cup kickstarts.
Okay, sir. Which team will you be supporting now that we don't have the Super Eagles there?
Well, my favorite, all my mentor coaches, or one of the coaches I love so much, is Thomas Tuchel.
Okay.
So I'll be anticipating to see what he's going to use England to do.
Okay.
You understand? So for me, if you ask me, I would like to go with England for now. But if England don't make it, I'll go with France.
It's France.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you miss the most about Nigeria being at the World Cup?
Wow, what I miss the most is two things. One, the fun of going to the viewing center to watch with fellow fans in the viewing center, and then secondly, of course, I miss the fact that I won't be seeing the likes of some of our superstars like Osimhen, Iwobi, and the likes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the Super Eagles of Nigeria should do better so as to enable them participate in the World competition that will come up in 2030?
Okay, well, if you follow the trend of the qualification, you discover that Eric Chile didn't start with them.
Okay.
It was the former coach who started with them, and ultimately there were a lot of blunders from the beginning. But where Eric Chile took it from, he tried his best.
Okay.
So if Eric Chile can maintain the tempo, the velocity, and what he's doing now, I feel Nigeria can do better.
My name is Danifo Shabiodun, popularly known as Coach Abi.
Coach Abe. Okay, Coach Abe, next week the World Cup commences, and
Yeah.
we will not be having the Super Eagles there. How do you feel about that?
Well, being a coach and being a citizen of this country is very, very heartbreaking. That I won't be able to watch my own country. I won't be supporting my own country in this upcoming World Cup. The last World Cup, I had to support the likes of Portugal, Morocco, Argentina. It was so heartbreaking that I couldn't see my country. And the same thing is also happening now. So disappointing that we are not playing in the World Cup. I mean, at the World Cup. So, and just think we can do better.
Okay, so going to the World Cup next week, who are you going to support? Because you will be watching that game, watching the tournament. So who are you supporting?
Well, if I should speak like a coach, I wouldn't say I'm supporting this very country.
Okay.
But looking at what we have on ground, most people will tip in France, likes of England, Brazil, and all of that. But as a coach, I think I'll wait on the commencement of the competition. Let's see what happens at the group stages, and thereby we'll know what happens thereafter.
My name is Confidence Chibueze, founder of FIFA Football TV, and basically the question is, how significant is Nigeria's World Cup miss to everyone? To be very, very honest with you, the World Cup miss is very, very, very significant. I mean, we can see it in different places, different sectors, not just in football, in business, in media, in whatever, what have you. Is exactly a very big blow to us. Is a dent on how steady our football ecosystem is. How, like, you could look at countries like Morocco, the last AFCON 2022, they got to the semi-final. You could look at countries like Senegal, and when you look at their consistent qualification, and you look at their stats, and you look at their progress, you would say that this is a national football team that is building, that is growing. But for the Super Eagles of Nigeria missing out on the 2022 World Cup, now missing out on the 2026 World Cup, it's entirely a very big dent to us, to whatever aspect of it. I mean, the World Cup is actually a time when media organizations tend to thrive. It's the whole world coming together for just one tournament, and then in that whole world coming together in just one tournament, the whole media ecosystem in the world is coming together to interact with football audience across the world. So you be different with now Nigeria. It's totally different. Every point of view, from a fan point of view, from a journalist point of view, from every point of view at all, the World Cup 2026 is actually feeling different than Nigeria. I mean, the pre-World Cup, the grouping, the heading closer to the World Cup, everything is just feeling so unreal and so different. We as Nigerians are not emotionally attached. We're not just attached in any way, just that it's the World Cup and we just have to like participate. So that's why we kind of, okay, we okay, today we support Senegal, tomorrow we support Ghana. But just imagine us supporting Ghana at the World Cup. That's telling you how different it is. The colors are not there. I mean, you'd have seen Nigeria flying in the colors, the green and white. The vibes are not there. We have a lot of vibes when it comes to the World Cup. So how do I feel personally that Nigeria will not be at the World Cup? To be very, very sincere with you, I feel very, very, very sad. I feel very, very I won't use the word angry, but I don't feel very happy. I feel very disappointed. I think it should have happened in my generation, anyways. Back to back, 2022 and 2020. It's not just the fact that we missed 2026 World Cup, it's the fact that we missed 2022 World Cup, which is the previous one, and we are missing the 2026 World Cup. It's just a whole lot. It's just, I mean, my generation came from watching the uh 2010 World Cup, then the 2014 World Cup, 2018 World Cup. We were not so used to Nigeria missing out on World Cups. It's basically where journalists have to like build their portfolio, a lot of portfolios. Even at that, there are a lot of opportunities. Oh, you need to write this article, you need to write that article, you need to create this video content, you need to do that. So it's an opportunity gone. It's an opportunity that passed by. So you have to wait for another 4 years. That's what happens. What if the 4 years we are not still at the World Cup? Who's missing Nigeria at the World Cup? Like I said it earlier, it's the vibe, it's the connectivity. And I think at this shaky time in Nigeria as a whole, we actually needed to be at the World Cup so that everything could unify us. I mean, look at the match against Poland, look at the match against against Jamaica, look at the match against Zimbabwe. You could see how, even as small as those matches were, you see how he brought Nigeria together on different social media platforms. We literally forgot our problems in just a few minutes. Nigeria faces a lot of problems. Nigerians faces a lot of problems, and football is just that one thing that helps helps us forge ahead. And Nigeria being to the World Cup would have aided in those things, would have aided in our recovery, would have aided in our hopes and everything. But since Nigeria is not going to be there, is a very, very miss for the fans, for Nigerians. Being through, the players are not being through. It's we, the fans. I'm a fan right now, so it's we, the fans, that are being through and everywhere on social media. Every single Ghana dropped their World Cup, and I think the last time they were bringing out Nigeria's World Cup squad like Zazu and Sabinus. It's actually a very, very big truth for us. Be lessons. I've preached this a lot, but lessons that Nigeria should learn. One, we should start preparing early. I mean, I criticize what happened during the last AFCON. You can't be a very serious national team who wants to qualify to the World Cup and you're using 4 coaches. I mean, that is sack and employ routine. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. No serious national team does that, and they hope to qualify. And so we need to learn from that. We need to plan who is going to be our coach. What strategy? I was talking about it. South Africa, for one, had a strategy going into that qualifiers. I'm going to be very honest with you. South Africa said, we are going to Nigeria, we are going to pick up a draw. They're coming to us. We're not normal home ground. They took us to where? They took us to that forest to go and play. It was planned. It was game plan, because on normal flowing pitch, they know that it's going to be very difficult to be Nigeria. In Nigeria that is fighting to qualify. So they had their plans all together. They had their plan. So this is what Nigeria ought to do. It's not just plan about which players are you going to invite for this tournament. It's plans about how you're going to take each team. You're going to play Zimbabwe today. What are you expecting? What kind of result? We're going to play, let's say, Tunisia. What kind of result are we expecting? We might get better than the results that we're expecting, but it's just so that we can wage our performances, so that we can, on paper, we'll see how it looks for us to qualify. But I mean, the last previous ones, the plan was not really there. Plan for stadium, plan for logistics, plan for those kind of things. But they're not really there. So Nigeria needs to plan better, to be very, very honest with you. And I think right now we've gotten a lot of players. There's lesser dependency on Victor Osimhen, and we need to keep that going, because Osimhen is very prone to injury. I can tell you that for a fact. He's our best player, but yet then again, he's like Avatar. Whenever you need him, he vanishes. So we need to get a player that can complement him, player that can stand in for him whenever he's not available, and Nigeria can still get the desired results that we need. So that's basically it about the World Cup and Nigeria missing it.
Hello everyone, my name is Akikwade Ayomide. I'm a sports journalist working with Bold Sports. How does it feel without Nigeria at the World Cup? It is hugely disappointing, to be honest. everyone is watching the World Cup to majorly watch their country and then to probably support another person, another individual, or it's watch another country, as we like to call it. But the major objective of everyone is to see their own succeed. That's why we watch the game. That's why we follow the game. That's why we love the game. So to see that Nigeria is not there is terrible, especially because this is the second time in a row. So the last time we watched Nigeria at the World Cup was 2018, which is more than or close to 10 years now, and that's insane. It should not be. Nigeria at the World Cup is very different from Nigeria not at the World Cup, to be honest. Not even just for Nigerians, but for the whole world. I feel everybody loves Nigerians. Everybody loves the vibe of Nigerians, the cultural vibe that we bring to every stadium. Obviously, everybody like is different, you know. There are different cultures. You saw the Norway picture and what they did with their picture for the World Cup. It's looked very good, very amazing. We've seen pictures from England, from Brazil, from Spain, from all these countries, and it's amazing. But Nigeria, we're different. We're bringing the vibes, we're bringing everything, we're bringing the bands and everything. And without Nigeria at the World Cup, I don't know. It's not boring. It's still fun to watch. Everybody still wants to watch it. It's still the most watched country event. But like, definitely the world is going to miss us. And the significance of this is that we see now that we have failed as a nation in terms of this footballing sector in the last 8 years. We have failed, and there is no beating around the bush. There's no two ways about it. In the men's footballing sector, we have failed. As a nation, as a people, we have failed. And the federation needs to take a hard look at themselves and find a way to solve it, because we cannot be at the 2030 World Cup and not go for it again. That will be three tournaments in a row, and that is simply unforgivable. So there have been calls for the people at the federation to resign and stuff like that. But I think they just need to look at themselves in the mirror and find a way to succeed. So you have to learn from this, and because most times these people don't take it as serious as they should, because they feel that Nigeria is better than every other nation, and that's what happens to the women's football. So they don't take it serious because they know that the Super Falcons are the best, so they are going to beat anybody, regardless of if they don't train, if they train, if they prepare, if they don't prepare. They are going to beat anybody, and they are translating that to the men's football, but it's not going to work in the men's football because things are different. Things are different. Every nation is improving. You can see Senegal, they won the AFCON. It was taken off them. We don't know if they're still going to win it, but they won the AFCON, and recently they won the under-17 AFCON. Everybody's improving. You're not just giants of Africa, and you don't just win tournaments by name. You have to win it by workings. You have to show workings, and Nigeria has to learn that, because I feel they think that because we have the names, we have Osimhen, Lookman, Chukwueze, Iwobi, all these guys, we can be able to, bulldoze our way through these qualifiers and qualify for the World Cup. But now, 2 editions, no, we've not done it. So we've seen that it's not just by the names. There must be a structure, there must be a system, there must be infrastructure, there must be proper facilities, there must be equipment, there must be a way to get players to perform more than just having names. And this is what they must learn going into the next qualifiers for the World Cup, so that we can be able to go for the 2030 World Cup, because this affects everybody, not just the people, not just the fans. It even affects journalists, because you're not even able to get sponsors as much as you would if your country was going to the World Cup. So I don't want to get too much into that, but basically, Nigeria at the World Cup is terrible, and we must find a way to change that, and that is my view.
World Cup is not just football. It is one of the few events that bring together strangers around the shared experience. What will it take for Nigeria to return to the World Cup? Nigeria may not be playing in this World Cup, but in different homes, in bars, in viewing centers, you see still Nigerians cheering their favorite nation. I mean, other nations that are participating in this World Cup edition. And that makes Nigeria a part of the story. Perhaps that's the paradox of football in Nigeria. Even when the team is absent, the passion remains. Essence Media, thank you for watching. Like, share, and follow for more.